get some stuff done.
Yeah, well, thanks for calling in.
Yes, good morning.
There isn't a soul in the audience.
Really?
Yeah, Marilyn's out there all by herself swimming in the pool. I guess nobody told her there was a meeting here.
I did.
Oh, Tony
Anyway,
did,
yeah, I did.
So,
Okay, guys, we can go through this very quickly this morning. Good morning. There is nobody in the audience. It's now, today is the 22nd at 11 a.m. The meeting is called to order. The board has received the affidavit. The roll call, Mr. Sager, Mrs. Cook, and Mrs. Dambrowski are present. Mrs. Dambrowski is by phone. Ms. Gallart and Mr. Peller Marino are at work. They could not attend. There is a majority of the board present. The first item is a motion to accept the minutes of July 21st, 2022. Is there a motion?
I make a motion.
Mrs. Dambrowski. Is there a second?
I second.
Mr. Sager. The board is approving the minutes as presented?
yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The first item on the agenda is the driveway proposals.
Right.
Wow. So it's fairly obvious, it's not almost even a vote.
I make a motion, we go with bid one.
That was the MA Construction.
Right.
MA Construction, and that is Peg, second,
I second the motion.
Fred, and no questions. I do have an email to him to find out exactly how much the bumpers are. And then just about how it will be done. Just to let you know, unfortunately, Helen, you can't see it. There's a map I did. It's got to be in two parts. You know, Helen, it starts off in Heather and goes around River Terrace and stops at River Terrace at Avon. And then the second part would be the Avon North parking all the way to the front entrance, obviously for people moving their cars.
Right, okay.
All right, so the board is approving of the MA Construction. Fred, yes?
Yes.
Peg?
Yes,
Helen?
Yes.
Good. Additional bank account. What happened, I sent you an email, I made a mistake, I put the wrong number down on the deposit, it was 2,000 short. Then, of course, I went to reconcile the bank account, and then where is the money? I had to go to the bank, and I was ready to go, did we go? No, I was ready to go with Peg, I was ready to get the lawyer, anyway, they didn't scan all the checks. So then I was informed that they told me this, but of course they never did. When I do the checks, there's maybe 50, 60 checks at a shot. Mm-hmm. And what happened, you know, they changed. It's no longer BBT, it's Truist. Well, they have a new system, and their system really can only take care of 15 checks per deposit. So I never, you know.
Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? But again, she said, the lady at the bank said, well, I told you this. I mean,
When?
right. So I think it's wise, and I went with Peg we went to Seacoast Bank, and, you know, I don't want to do Wells Fargo or Bank of America. I don't want to do a big bank. I think a smaller bank, it's still FDIC insured. You know, they were okay. Then they had all these.
What about SunTrust?
Oh, no, there is no more SunTrust.
Oh, okay.
It's Truist now. The two banks merged.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. Because I'm older and it's always scared me, but now, what about trying an online bank? I know we don't have a building
No, I have to deposit the checks.
but you take a picture of them now and that's how they,
and the quarters too.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I know.
Quarters are becoming an issue.
Well, we still could keep the Truist bank account. That's not the issue. It's about depositing the checks. Fred is very right. That is one of the things they can do. and then I retain the checks, which, yes, they could be shredded, that's not the problem. I'd rather not have them and go through that. I make copies of everything, that's how I could prove all the work. And in math, everything has to add, it's nothing, it is or it's not anything in between. So, that's something to look into, the check scanner, and I had asked about it when we went.
You just take a picture with your phone.
No, I mean, you're talking one check, I'm talking a stack of checks.
Yeah, 60, you said.
60.
Yeah.
Well, that's when I'm making a deposit. You have to remember in the
Yes.
beginning, so all within those 10 days, it's probably more like 200 checks.
Oh, never mind.
You know what I'm
Oh.
saying? Yeah, you can't take a picture of them with
Yeah,
the
and
phone.
They'll only take 15 at a time. You're gonna be depositing every day. That's ridiculous.
Well, no, I could take, each deposit slip is 15. So if I do 10 deposit slips, you know what
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's not that they can only take that a day, it's per deposit slip.
Oh, ridiculous.
Yeah. So I think and you know what, it's not a bad idea just to have a second bank account and then see what they can do.
Yes,
So,
I think that's good.
yeah, and the two of you could be signers on it. So to open another bank account, and then Fred and Peg can be the signers on it, is there a motion?
I make a motion to have the second bank, Seacoast Bank,
Well, I still have to talk to them.
talk to them.
It'll be not a big bank, because that, it's like dealing with AT&T, Bank of America. Anything that gets too big, I can't
Yeah.
have a conversation
I
with
think,
them.
Helen, we're still in the spot where we're shopping.
Yeah,
Yes,
You know,
okay.
we gotta see what's out there before we decide on one. And Seacoast looked good, but it was not without its issues. So we'll move on and check out another bank. But we're just looking for permission when we find one to
move forward.
some money over there.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll
Oh, go ahead,
second
you
it.
want to say
I
something?
second that.
Second.
There is also a small bank that once was trying to get my business over there. I just had already been with Bank of America, but in that same little strip with Publix at 5 Points.
Oh, that's, my mother has that. That's,
Any good? It's,
no, they annoyed me when I had to deal with my mother.
okay,
Yeah, it's Bank United.
okay.
Yeah.
And a bank that you can, like you said, talk to.
I have to be able to go
Yeah, we're
in.
gonna check out Paradise.
Paradise
Yeah, it's
was
a
a bank,
small
we found that one, and I said, what an interesting name, Paradise.
Yeah.
So the three of you agree on this?
I agree.
Good.
Yes.
Fred?
Okay,
moved.
great.
Yes.
Okay, the next issue is Basil. So I don't have booze right now, so, Helen, and Fred, I started four-letter words. I mean, I was screaming by the time I was done with this. He knows, he believes, he thinks he's owed money, but that's not what the records show. Julie, who is an accountant, she's also a CPA, I think she is, I'm pretty sure she is, she said that, went through everything, she found no issue. So, but in Basil's mind, there is an issue. And I don't think we can fix that. He believes, he feels.
It's difficult to resolve because we go over the River Shores pays with him and he starts talking Middle River Club. And when we say, no, we'll do River Shores first, then we'll do your Middle River Club checks. And he's back and forth and he's confusing the two and there's just no resolve.
And you've gone down it basically and said, listen,
It's
you
in
work.
black and white all the way down, yeah.
Well, then,
There's no resolve, he just doesn't get it and it's very difficult, frustrating.
Yes, and since nobody's here, I can say there's a financial issue going on there. And again, nobody's more compassionate, believe it or not, than Tony. And that's why, he was kind of paid, and you can actually see the path where it was at the end of the month. Then I
Right,
kind of
right.
moved it to the 15th or something. Then it came down to the 10th, and both of them are paid in advance. Steve does not believe that. Well, I went through the records, and sure enough, it's, and I'm going to say it because there's nobody present really. They are treated by me with kid gloves. I say if it's too hot, hold off, do it tomorrow, right? they're treated extremely well. I'm the one who give them the bonus. I held off on me personally, I'm not trying to be the martyr here, okay, but they've been treated very well. They are also paid beyond extremely well. And I'll say Basil, it's $42,000 for a part-time job. That's unheard of in the real world. And Steve, it's $52,000, again, not in the real world. So, and again, we have to learn to work together, communicate, whatever. But it's bothered me a little bit, not because my feelings are hurt, but there's no, the hair on their back standing up is not warranted, because they certainly are treated well by all of us, not just me.
I feel so too.
Yeah, so I think it's just something all of us, not me making the decision, but being part of the conversation, needs to look at, because I get the impression Basil, and I don't know, Peg, please chirp in, he's not going to be happy, whatever it is, until he gets another month or whatever. And I just, is that an impression you would get?
He's definitely not happy. He thinks he hasn't been paid for Saturdays. He was paid for Saturdays during the COVID and during the rat issues, and of course that income stopped, and he doesn't get it.
Well, if he's not coming in on Saturdays, does he expect to be paid?
No,
for a
he is
Saturday?
coming in on Saturdays, he is paid. What happened, he was working 7 days a week with the COVID.
Right.
It first started with the rats, then it turned into the COVID.
COVID, right.
So,
And
I used,
Saturdays are included in his
his pay.
contract.
No, it's not in his original contract. It was something that was amended. I forgot if it's in the, no, it's not in the actual contract. It's just something that was added, but I have notes in the spreadsheet. It's not a spreadsheet, but you know what I mean. His logs of how he was paid. So, again, everything is fairly, like really pretty good documented. So, Steve handed me something now. I told him whenever Peg and I spoke with him Friday, I was bullshit. I have to tell you, I was screaming. The whole building heard me. I said, come up with the number you're owed. Steve handed me something. They're blank pieces of paper, right? Fred just saw them.
This?
Yeah, look at them.
Yeah.
I just called him and says, how much you owe? Well, he hasn't gotten to it yet, but he knows he's owed something. So,
This is
Basil. And I just, last week was not the first conversation on this. So, I don't know what the answer is on it. So, you're all gonna have to come up with something to deal with this.
Yeah, it seems to be an invoice with no dollars on it.
An invoice with no dollars, is
Yeah.
what Peg said.
Blank.
So, blank.
Yeah.
So,
Does anybody know, is anybody whispering things in his ear that says, I think you need to get paid more, just to make trouble?
yes, well, as you know, Fred, Wendelin brought this up at the Middle River Club board meeting. So the conversation I had with Basil, see what happens when, Helen, this is the problem here in this HOA. It's a business, but with everybody involved in it. And when everybody's involved in it, nothing can get done, you see. So if Basil turns this into something political, which he did admit in front of Peg, he did discuss this with some people.
Yeah.
So now we have everybody, and then when Wendelin brought it up at the last Middle River Club board meeting, he needs a week vacation. That's when I put it out to the board. To me, it doesn't, pay him, I'll make the money up. That's not the problem. The problem where it comes down to, it's a business or it's a political fun and games, what everybody feels and thinks and believes it should be done. So if he continues, and this becomes everybody, River Terrace needs to be involved, and River Bend, now we're never going to have all this
Peace on earth.
peace on
Yeah.
earth. Thank you.
We'll never see it again.
Yeah. because they're involved in matters they don't understand, they can't give an opinion on. All it is are their feelings and beliefs based on disinformation.
And this is payment from River Shores, not from the.
Oh, no,
RC.
no, it would be both, because Middle River Club gave him a $300 bonus. Remember, it was over the gas now. So now the gas has come down, you know, again,
Yes.
I don't want to keep talking about it, I'll be honest.
Right. So, from the outside, I think, if this is starting and he's, I'm gonna say the word, a little belligerent because he has it so well, and just to come to people that treat him well and say, nope, I mowed more. Nope, I don't have any truth, or proof, but I mowed more. So this is something that, oh, I got away with it 3 months ago. I think you guys missed paying me again.
Right.
Do you see? And then sure, we're the,
You can't
with-
keep coming to the well.
right. So I think though, even if we do come and put up, say, give him some extra money and pay him for this, and this is sort of a question, does it protect our asses? Because say in 3 months, and we have clarified this is how you.
Well, he's a vendor. It has something, he's not an employee, he's a vendor. So it's not about protecting our asses, everything's documented.
Okay.
So he would be hard pressed to, he could, I mean, anybody can do anything they want. I mean, that's not an issue. I don't know how he would prove it, and then, of course, the fact that he's paid excessively well. I
But just
mean,
so if something comes up in the future, we're in a good position. We paid
well,
him.
Fred, you can never predict the future. So anybody can say anything they want and do anything they want. So the better question to ask, is it documented? And the answer is yes.
Very good.
So you still could bring a claim. It doesn't mean you will win it. You see what I'm saying? So is it unpleasant? Yeah. What's unpleasant about it for me, and again, I'm saying my feelings are not hurt about it, but it's it's unwarranted because, you know, if it wasn't for me opening my mouth, you know, maybe the $1,000 bonus wouldn't go that way, and another year, another $1,000 bonus. I mean, he's been paid excessively well. Go look at, you know.
Well, you can see he's been paid for Saturdays, if you look at the payroll sheet, and if he worked extra, he's been paid for that.
He's been paid for everything and well. The problem is he's still not happy. So a business decision is something different than a political decision. So I think that's the point of it. Anyway, since he has not come up with any money, why don't you table the issue? You've been informed of the issue. There's nothing to discuss because he just,
Right.
it's a blank invoice. So,
You could say, Fred needs to see the time that you're not paid for.
Fred,
He's not gonna have it?
Fred,
All right.
when I
Yep,
tell you,
submit an invoice with, and this is what we got, a blank
a
invoice.
blank
He
invoice.
was asked, he was screamed at to write it down, give it to us, we'll look at it. This is what we get, a blank.
I have a-
He doesn't know how to do that, you know,
But he feels,
yeah.
he knows he's underpaid. Well, okay, what are you underpaid?
Okay, let's not beat a dead.
Yeah. Okay, well, I was very
Let's make a
aggravated.
motion to table it.
Table,
Until we get information from.
table until information,
Pending further information.
more info. Okay, the next issue is the convenience fee. What I'm finding is some people don't understand, and Peg kind of just is aware of this with William. William, who used to live in Chase 105, he moved into a co-op and he needed an expedited interview, which I think they meet once a month, and then they'll meet in 2 weeks if you pay him an extra $100. And then he paid the extra $100 and
He paid 200.
yeah, well, it was an extra 100 for it,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And now I'm dealing with one who, you know, I try to set them up Thursdays at 4:30, or at least 4:30, because it's the end of the day, somebody can get out of
Yes,
work.
and it's weekly. It's not monthly, it's weekly.
Right, it's moving it along.
Yeah.
It's moving
yeah.
it along. And what I find is, you know, like somebody sold their condo in a week. Well, most normal HOAs, see, we're very abnormal, Helen, there's no reality here. Usually the condo boards threaten the residents and bully them. No, it's the other way around. Most condos don't have money, anyway, we have money. Anyway, I'm dealing with one, I says, can you